This is the song Polkadots and Moonbeams. And I'm going to just play the melody and the chord changes through so you can hear the song first, and then we'll talk about the soloing on it, okay? So here it's an F. The bridge goes to the key of A, and it goes back to the A section in F. That's the tune. Little flub, I think, just before the bridge, but close enough. And it's in the key of F. One chord, 6 minor 7 chord, 2 minor 7, 5 7, 3 minor 7, 6 minor 7, 2 minor 7, and then a 2 5 of 6. D minor is the 6th chord to the 4 minor, B flat minor, A minor 7, ooh, chromatic, A flat minor 7 down to the 2 minor 7, C7 with the 5 7, and then little 3 minor 7 5. Let's see. 3 6, 2 5, and then back to the 1 chord. To the 6 minor 7, the 2 minor 7 to the 5 7, 3 minor 7 to the 6 minor 7, the 2 minor 7, then I guess this 2 5, 5 5 of the 6 minor chord, 4 minor, 3 minor 7, flat 2 minor 7 or flat 3 minor 7, 2 minor 7, 5 7 of 1. And then we've got a little 2 5 in the key of A that brings us to the bridge. B minor 7, flat 5 to E7, flat 9. And A in the new key is, and then you got a 1 sharp diminished to a B minor 7, the 2 minor 7 in the key of A to the 5 7. And I do this little 1 major 7, 2 minor 7, 3 minor 7, then 2 minor 7, down to the 1 chord in the key of A, sharp 1 diminished, 2 minor 7, 5 7, then a 6 minor 7, which is that F sharp minor 7 in the key of A, but here's the little place it pivots, and that D7 is going to the 2 minor in the key of F. I just put that little augmented chord in there. The 5 7 augmented going to the 1 chord in the key of F. 6 minor 7, 2 minor 7, 5 7, 3 minor 7, 6 minor 7, 2 minor 7, the 2 5 of 6, 6 minor, 4 minor 7, 3 minor 7, flat 3, minor 7, 2 minor 7, 5 7, flat 9 if you like, to the 1 chord. This is 1 6 chord. Just the 1 6 chord with the C and the bass if you like. Okay, so here we go, and just talking about soloing a little bit, because this is a lesson for you regarding soloing. It's just so important to know the melody, I think, and know the chord changes, you know, for a meaningful solo. But let's talk about a couple of quick techniques. In the key of F, you've got this whole F major 7 Ionian, if you like. To the D minor 7. Then you do arpeggios. And you can, I'm just going to the 5 of the D minor 7. And you could call it an Aeolian if you like, but you've got I'm just doing a little 5 to the flat 7, and then a little chromatic down, going to the G minor 7, to that C7, to the 3 minor 7. You're still in the key of F here, so you know, however you play an arpeggio on it, and because you can use triads in the key of F, and if you like to resolve them, you know, nicely, that's nice. Here's the D minor 7. And then the G minor 7, and you can, you know, I seem to be on a little, for some reason, doing a lot of the chromatic down. I don't know why, but it's just my mood right now. To that E minor 7 flat 5, A7 flat 9, and yes, arpeggios. You have E minor 7 flat 5, E minor 7 flat 5, just arpeggio, 1 flat 3, flat 5, flat 7, to the resolving to the 3rd of the A7 chord, 5, flat 7, flat 9, to the 6 minor chord, to the B flat minor, which is the 4 minor. And it really is, it's a B flat minor 6, it's a 4 minor 6, because you're still really in the key of F. And so it would normally have that A natural and G natural, because your ear is still in the key of F, but you're playing this D flat note, making that B flat minor. And you could call it a B flat melodic minor if you wanted to. On that B flat minor. To the A minor. You're getting this to 3 minor. And then A minor 7, you could just, you know, you're just doing that chromatic A flat minor down to the A minor 7, the G minor 7, the 2 minor 7. And then you're to the C. Again, thinking, you know, your bebop stuff, you know. arpeggio on the G minor 7 resolving, flat 7 on the G minor 7 resolving to the 3rd of the C7, and you know, and you can throw that little flat 9 going to the A minor 7. It's like a 3 minor 7 to a 5/7 of 2. G minor 7. And you're back at the 1 chord. And you could be playing an F major 7. Usually a little chromatic into the 5th, you know. One little technique is that you can go to any chord tone, you can go from a half step below the chord tone or a whole step above and resolve. Or do both. On the F major 7, where am I here? To the 3 minor 7. The 6 minor 7, the D minor 7. G minor 7. And you could do, if you want a little Dorian thing, you know. And then you're in the C7. And you can play, you know, I love picking out, you know, chord tones. There's the 9th, the 13th, the 3rd, the flat 7 on the C7, which is kind of nice because it resolves to the A minor 7. G minor 7. And then that's this little E minor 7 flat 5 to A7 flat 9. If you like a little arpeggio action with the E minor 7 flat 5 resolving that flat 7 on the E minor 7 to the 3rd of the A7 chord, and back to the D minor 7, the D minor 7, and you're back at the B flat minor. This is the second half of the A section. And again, you could arpeggiate, you could play a B flat melodic minor scale, to the A minor 7. Just a little arpeggio is kind of nice on the when you're having a little chromatic chord action. And then back to the C7. And if you want to follow the chord change, you go to the C9. To the flat 9, you could be once you're at the flat 9, it also implies sharp 9 on the C7 to the F6. And then it does this little 2/5 in the key of A to get you into the key of A for the bridge. Right? And you can absolutely play, some B minor 7 flat 5, sometimes that people go, right for like a C major scale, which would be like a B minor 7 flat 5 would be like a Locrian scale. To me, you're still kind of in the key of, F there. You haven't gone full hog to the key of A because you haven't played that E7 yet. But and really, that B minor 7 flat 5 to me is that it's really an F scale with a B natural in it for the. And then when you go to the E7, which is the 5 of the new key of A, and then you certainly, you know, you could make it an E7 flat 9, or probably, if you want to kind of give a little, you might say, warning that you're going into the key of A, you could make that a B an E7 with a natural 9, and you're, you know, you're basically telegraphing that you're going to the key of A if you do that, and then you're back to, you're in the key of A. I tend, when you're playing quote unquote inside the changes, you're kind of using the scale of the key that you're used to listening, you've been listening to, which is the key of F here, and you can just use the tones, the chord tones of the chord, alter them to match the chord. So in this case, you're basically playing an F scale with a B natural and a G sharp, interestingly enough, but then you're in the key of A, and you're in a you know, Ionian. And it goes to here the bridge, A sharp diminished, all kinds of ways to look at that. Got the symmetrical diminished. To the B minor. On that 8 sharp diminished, don't forget that you've got an arpeggio. That you can play with. And you've got this F sharp 7 flat 9, which is basically the 5 of the 2 chord. 5, 7 flat 9 of the 2 chord. And if you arpeggiate it, flat 9, sharp 9. Sharp 9, flat 9. The one thing about it is this does have a natural 13 and a sharp 11, which is kind of cool. And then you've got this interesting note, natural 13 with the flat 9 and the sharp 9. Love that, you know. And it's going to the, you know, the 2 minor 7 chord in the key of A. To the E7, again you're in the key of A there. To, you know. And let me see. Oh, I changed the chords a little bit there. Instead of going to the C sharp minor, which you certainly could go to the original and change it. Or you could go back to the 1 chord. And then you go to the B minors. On that C sharp minor 7. And your B minor 7 to E7. Back to A, that A sharp diminished, sharp diminished. You know, all works on the play with the diminished chords. It's for 2 beats. Go to the B minor 7, and then this is the 5 in the key of A, you know, which is the E7 chord. melodically. You can do all kinds of things, but then it starts to turn around. Here is it's a 6 minor chord in the key of A. You can play that, use the ninth on it, and then it goes to this D7, which is a little bluesy thing. It sounds, to me, it sounds bluesy because it's the four dominant set. But what it really is, it's turning us around to the 2 minor chord in the key of F, the G minor 7, and to me, you could also play that as a flat 9 because it's going. Whenever you have a 5/7 chord going to a minor chord, never be afraid to use altered flat 7, flat 9, flat 13 kind of a thing. Does the chord change give me any little hint here? Not really, but here is the F sharp minor 7 going into that D7. Going from that F sharp minor 7, it has that C sharp in it, right? And then to that D7 with the C natural, and I'd probably play the flat 9. And you're now in the G minor 7, which is definitely not in the key of A anymore, but it's making that transition to the C7, and you're back to the F. On the D minor 7, the G minor. The reason why it's a G minor 9 is the melody is the 9th. So, and I'm just going to the 5 chord, and I use altered tensions. You know, as long as I'm not playing the melody, but I might go the melodies, and then right, that's the 9th. Certainly, you know, these natural 9, flat 9, chromatic stuff between chord tones, always, and perfectly valid. On that F chord, there's no F in the melody on that F chord, so I would tell your rhythm section that you wouldn't be playing an F triad, but you're probably playing an F major 7 and F6. So you're completely cool to use the 7th and the 6th, you know, in the major scale, to the D minor 7. And you're back to the G minor. And again, here's an A minor 7. The B natural is not in the F scale, so you can use it as kind of a passing tone, going to the minor 3rd. Here's that thing where, again, a half step below the chord tone or a whole step above works a lot. So here I'm going from the F on that A minor 7, or there's the A minor, and just using a little chromatic passing tone kind of a thing. And on the D minor 7, you know, you're still in the key of F. You know, play around with that. On that D minor 7, the G minor 7, and again, this happens to be the 9/11 on the G minor 7, the 2 minor 7. And then look for common tones. That G minor 7, the G is the root, turns into the minor third of the E minor 7 flat 5, which is also has the B flat in. So while the chords play da ba do ba do ba do da do da do ba dee da dee da. Think melodically too. And all those two notes, that G and that B flat are in the G minor 7. They're in the E minor 7 flat 5, and they're also in the A7 flat 9. Going to the and then resolving in like the 5th of the D minor 7. I'm just giving you a little lick here, so we haven't really talked about kind of lick kind of stuff. But there's also, there's patterns that you can use. Going from that E minor 7 flat 5, A7 to the D minor 7. Just a 2-note little lick that can sound interesting. To that B flat minor, minor. You're basically coming from the D minor 7. The one note that's really different is the D flat instead of the D natural. Right on that B flat minor. Again, using notes that are in the key of F, but just altering them for the chord. Just change the notes that are different in the chord. And you're back to the A minor 7. Just the notes in the A minor 7 to the A flat minor 7. To the G minor 7, to the C7, and then go to that little flat 9. It's in the chord change, and you'd end on the 9th of the F chord, and then that's your basic tune. Lots of different ways to go about improvising. Playing the arpeggios, resolving them. A lot of the bebop stuff, it really resolves between the chord changes, finds common tones. I especially like, if you're playing inside the changes, then you're resolving to chord tones. You're using the scale that you're in with kind of altered to fit the chord. Thinking chord tones, and you go chromatically between chord tones, resolving them by coming into them from chromatic, and up from upper or below the target note. And the more you maybe use scales, like that B minor going to the new key of A, that B minor 7 flat 5. Again, the more you get away from if you don't play, thinking the original key that you've been listening to, but go, dive right into the new key, that tends to sound a little more out. That you're going somewhere else. There's all kinds of things you can do, and we haven't really touched on them, but I hope this was a great introduction. For Polkadots and Moonbeams, it's a really pretty melody. It's got some nice changes. Not everybody does it. It's I'll call it and on a gig, and not everybody will know it if they're really brand new people and they've only studied a certain amount of standards. But a lot of people know because it's a great tune. Hope you liked it. Thanks very much. Did it on the Martin guitar, the acoustic. I hope that came through okay. Thanks. Bye-bye now.